Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Sleepless Ninja. Today we're going to take a look at Newsr. This is an application that is used for RSS reading on the Xoom, and it basically pairs up with your Google Reader account, and it does a very good job at looking at RSS feeds on the Xoom, and so far is the best reader that I've come across. Even better than Pulse, which has been the reader that I've been using up until now. One of the nice features that Pulse doesn't have is the ability to synchronize with your Google Reader account, which I think is a huge plus. And also, Pulse doesn't always show all of the page to the user. So for instance, if we were to go to my Sleepless Ninja blog, you can see I have the entire picture and YouTube video in the RSS Reader. And if we were to quickly go over to Pulse and view my blog, you can see it shows the picture and the text, but no video. Now, the plus to Pulse, while we're here, it has a very beautiful interface, and it's very clean and very polished. And as far as for searching and adding RSS feeds, it's just the app that does it all. So it's very nice. The downside is, of course, there's no synchronization, and you don't get the full benefit of the RSS feed. Of course, I could be doing my website wrong. I could not be posting the video correctly for Pulse to read it and other readers. But this is just my comparison so far. So let's now quick switch. As you can see, it failed there, but there we go. Press it again. Quick switch back to Newsr, and you can see there's basically three columns here, and this takes advantage of the Honeycomb ability to kind of click on one column, it tabulates the other, and to switch between. And so you have a really nice way of switching between your articles, ordering your RSS feeds, and being able to read them in depth. I think it's absolutely wonderful. And you can just see it's very quickly organized in a wonderful manner. Now, I've been actually just adding all these to Google Reader, so this is very new. I just purchased this app yesterday, so I'm still getting familiar with everything as I transition from Pulse. But you can see, especially with Engadget, you have the nice pictures, and you have the video, and you have the entire article. So let's get a little bit more acquainted with this interface. So you can break it down by the feed, the articles within that feed, and you can also break it, and then also you can view the article. If you quick switch and you move into portrait mode, and I'll zoom out a little, you can see you can have that nice full screen. Now, this is a little quirk about the reader. If you were to switch back, you can get this back into this mode. But as far as that I can tell, with playing with it, with the amount of time that I have, which is about like 3 hours so far, there's no way to break out of this without like clicking out and then going back in, and then you have this kind of tabulated method of looking at your articles again, but in the portrait mode. And the weird thing is, you actually lose that middle column, so you can't select, you're only on the top article. And then there's no way to full screen it when you're in a portrait, so you have to switch back and then switch back into portrait, which is fine. I think it works very well this way. This is how I usually hold my Xoom. View your articles, go through, and then if you want to really see in full screen effect, switch to portrait, and to hold it in that natural method of reading, sort of like a book. But that is kind of a little quirk, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that have a lot of positive comments on this application, and for the most part have said, hey, a lot of the bugs that were here were fixed. So it seems like the developers here behind this application, or developer, has been keeping up to date with the updates and little things like this, I'm sure have already been brought to their attention, will be fixed. The application itself, once here, also has a couple additional features. So if you want to actually view that particular article on that web page instead of seeing the RSS, you can bring that right up, which is very nice. As you saw, it brought up the mobile, so if there has a mobile web page, it will bring up that mobile version. But for instance, if we were to go on a site that doesn't do that and view the article, oh, of course IGN does that as well. If we were to go to my website, and there might be a way to get around this, but if we were to go to Sleepless Ninja, and you can actually see it marks what you've read, and you can have a setting where it doesn't, and then it synchronizes back, and then that article is no longer viewed. So it's very nice to be able to sync your what you have read back, and you can change that setting so it doesn't do that, or to keep it, but in general it does a fairly good job at syncing what you've read with what you haven't read. Here's a good example of viewing it in the full page, so you get to see the actual page in its actual context. Then there's star, so if you really like this article, you can use the star and it syncs back to your Google Reader, so you'll always have it in that quick view. Let me get it out of that glare again and we'll zoom back in for you. And let me just view to the side, because this is where I have been talking about. So there's that view button, there's the star, then there's this button. This makes it so the article will always be unread, so it will always be on your viewer, because basically what happens is when you read an article, it syncs with your Google Reader and it's already read, and so it no longer shows. So it's a nice way of always keeping the unread articles here. So if you don't want it to sync back and disappear, you click on unread, and of course there's the share, which you can then share using your Google Reader, or if you want to do it in a more general way for sharing with your Gmail or Facebook and all those options, you have that ability to do so. So as you can see, this is a fairly great application, especially if you're a Google Reader user, and it's just a great way to synchronize all your RSS feeds with your Google Reader account and have a really beautiful full rendering of the RSS article with all the videos and pictures that would be attached to it. And besides those little quirks, another quirk, of course, is this synchronizes your Google Reader account, so you actually have to set up everything with Google Reader. You cannot add articles through this interface. You have to go to Google Reader and do all these things. But once it's set up, as this is just purely a reading, for reading, it works really, really well. And then, of course, there was the portrait view, and then not being able to execute ad. But those are my only negativities. This app is fairly affordable, so let's go to the marketplace. And we'll just type in Newsr. You can see it's $2.99. And there you go. It's being actively updated, it's getting better all the time, and it's, I believe, one of the best RSS news readers out there, especially if you're looking for a solution that syncs with your Google Reader account. Well, that's it for Newsr, and I just wanted to bring one additional thing to your attention. No biggie. But, so basically, every year for the past 5, I have been doing a walk, and it's a walk for hunger. It's in Boston, Massachusetts, and so I'm asking viewers out there, if they wish, please. I'm not expecting anything. Please donate, and it goes to those in the Massachusetts area who cannot afford to eat, and it's basically a 20-mile walk around Boston, Massachusetts. Anyone in the Massachusetts, Boston area. You know, it is a a very great thing to do. If you're interested, go definitely check out projectbread.org. I know a lot of people are global, and a lot of people aren't in the right state, as so many are, to do something like this. So I'm not expecting anything. But if you feel like this is something you want to, I'm going to add a link to under this video, and feel free to check it out and donate to the cause. It will be greatly appreciated. And kind of as a side thing, one of my friends jokingly said, but I'm holding him into it. You know, if I actually, he thinks that no one will donate, when it doesn't matter if no one will or will not. But he said if I get over $200 from people from the YouTube community and those following Sleepless Ninja, he will give me his iPod Classic, and I have full permission to smash it any way I want. I'll probably take an axe, take it in half, and then I'll also record it on video. So, if that's any additional incentive, he said he will keep his word. Interesting. I'll definitely record the whole thing. It's a fully working iPod Classic. I'll even show you when I make the video and post it online. But thank you for your time and patience with this. I'm not expecting anything. I'm just showing this. It's a charitable donation. Nothing goes to me. And check it out for its legitimacy. I will post the link. Anyhow, thank you everyone for your time. As always, this is a great pleasure. I take a lot of pride in my work and try and provide you with the best videos possible. Please keep the requests coming. If there's anything else in additional, this was a request from a number of viewers, and I'm looking forward to more requests from viewers and more questions. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.